It's been a while. That's well, because our afternoon drive guy is the bite and booze guy. So there's a lot more booze than bite. But yeah, right.
I remember Jay from when he was on Food Network. My kids would tune in.
On the next Food Network star,
Yes,
oh, he got robbed
he
too.
did too. He so got robbed. Kids all want to take pictures with him at Calandros. I mean, they were so excited. He's a cool guy.
He is. He'll be in at 8:30 this morning.
He was so shocked. He's like, "How do like 4 and 5 year olds know who I am?" they, well, it's the only thing you can let them watch nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
everything else is so woke. It's like, my goodness.
652 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP, 64 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. CBS World News Roundup coming your way in just a few minutes from right now. Let's talk lithium batteries. Let's talk about an economic injection of economic development right here in the greater Baton Rouge area. $100 million is headed over to St. Gabriel to the folks over at Koura. What does this mean? What are they going to do with it? Joining me now to talk about this is Erick Comeaux. He is with Koura. Good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning, Brian. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Glad to have you on here. Now, as far as what how to make batteries and how to use the lithium battery and all that other stuff, I'm going to have to plead ignorance, but I want to start on the jobs front. Actually, let's start with y'all. What is Koura? What do y'all do?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, Koura is Arbia's Fluorinated Business Solutions division. And what that means is we basically make fluorinated products.
What is a fluorinated product?
So it's a chemical that uses fluorine.
Okay.
So fluorine is in so many things that we use today. Everything from toothpaste to batteries to refrigerants. It's a very common material.
Okay.
And so we take that fluorine atom and we will make chemicals with it that improve people's lives all around the world. So let me give you an example. Right here in St. Gabriel, we make a product called R134A. That product is a refrigerant that keeps our food fresh when it's being transported around the country and while it's being stored. And it also goes in asthma inhalers. And in fact, if you know someone with asthma, chances are better than not that they have our 134A in that asthma inhaler.
Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. So bring us up to how we got involved with this, with the $100 million for it comes from the U.S. Department of Energy, part of the bipartisan infrastructure investment, and it's coming right home to St. Gabriel.
Exactly. So the way that we got here is, as I mentioned, those fluorine products go into so many different things, and one of them is batteries. Today, we ship all of those fluorine molecules all the way to Asia to make those batteries. What we're looking at is this is part of a much broader initiative to develop a domestic, stable, secure supply chain here in the United States for the battery industry. And LiPF6 is one of those many components that goes into a battery.
That's got to be hard to keep up with all the numbers and letters rather than just having like names for everything. But I would imagine if you had just names for everything, it would get lost in the wash in a different way. So give me a timeline on how long it takes for this investment to turn around into actual jobs, applications, people clocking in.
So it's going to be really exciting. We are planning on having our groundbreaking within the next, say, maybe 6 to 12 months. And we're trying to have this facility operational by 2025. So things are going to happen pretty fast, and that's very exciting.
Now, bringing the production of the lithium-ion battery home, I would assume it involves a number of different steps. But I want to talk about not so much the what, but it's the why. Why is the production of the lithium-ion battery technology important today?
You know, batteries have become such a staple of our everyday lives that I'm as guilty as anybody that we just take it for granted as a magical little cylinder that powers everything. But if you really stop and think about it, those batteries are in everything. They're in our satellites. They're in our computers. They're in the EVs that we're trying to put on the roads, the electronic vehicles. And so right now, with all of those batteries coming in from Asia, we all know about the supply chain issues that have hit us. We've all ordered something that we needed to have on a particular day, and it shows up a week later.
So my initial takeaway was this is about electric vehicles, but this is about a lot more than that. I mean, is it y'all making specifically electric vehicle batteries, or will there be like all the kind of batteries under the sun?
So we actually won't make a battery on site.
Oh, okay.
We're going to make a component that goes into a battery. Yeah, batteries seem very simple because they're so small and you plug them in and they work, but there's a lot of components in a battery and there's a lot of very cool technology goes into making a battery. So we'll make a component that will be able to power over 1 million EVs on the road each year, electric vehicles. However, those batteries can also go into satellites, computers, cell phones, or anything else that requires a battery.
Which there's no shortage of those out there either. So it sounds like, and this is one of the things I've been saying about as we move towards alternative fuels and for our vehicles or the greener movement, if you will. It's not going to be stopped. So why not outflank it and get the jobs right here? And it looks like that's what this investment's going to do.
That's exactly the way we see it.
Yeah.
You know, Orbia is committed to sustainable innovations around the world. Mm-hmm. We know that the move to renewable energy is something that's going to continue going, and it's good for our environment. So why not get on the front, bring the jobs here to Louisiana, and be on the cutting edge of that innovation?
And this sets you up for the future, but where does this set you up for? Like, how do we know what's next, or do we know what's next?
You know, I think that's the best part of it all. We do know what's next, but I don't think we know where the end is in sight.
Yeah.
There is so much opportunity here, and our plans to take full advantage of all of it.
$100 million is the investment. How many jobs is that going to mean?
That means that we're going to have, right now we have 85 jobs in St. Gabriel. This $100 million is going to create roughly 80 to 85 additional jobs. So it's almost doubling our employee base.
And what is this going to mean for St. Gabriel? What's this going to mean for the community?
This is going to be great for the community. So this money is going to help jumpstart a huge expansion in our community outreach efforts. We're very proud of the legacy that we've had in St. Gabriel. Mm-hmm. We have hired a relatively large percentage of local residents since our plant became operational in 1991, and we've maintained that base ever since. We've given them high-paying jobs. Many of them have worked all the way to lucrative retirements. This is going to allow us to continue doing that and continue giving scholarships. But here's the best part. So we have a huge talent development and inclusion program
as a part
of this.
Question,
yes. And it's not just about the handout of giving a scholarship now. Mm-hmm. With these funds, we're going to be able to go out and take people who otherwise would have never had an opportunity to work in this industry.
Right.
We'll give them the scholarship to go to either a 4-year college and get a degree to be an engineer or something else in our program, an accountant, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're also going to give those P-Tech scholarships for people to go to community colleges and learn how to be process operators or E&I techs. Mm-hmm. And we're going to partner them up with a mentor. So they're going to help them in their academic studies to be successful. We'll give them a paid internship, let them apply that on site, and have that mentor walk with them through that internship to make sure they know what it means to be professional.
See, and that is, to me, it's just an aside, that to me, that's the coolest part. Because you can have all the jobs, but if you don't have the workforce and you can't make the workforce adaptable to those jobs, then what have you really done? So the way you're spelling this out for me is if you've got a similar skill set or even not, you can work your way into the job.
And that's the key. That's the key. If you've got a similar skill set, we've always had a way to work you into a job. This is going to allow us to go out and get those people that don't have a similar skill set, that may not have any skill set at all, and give them the skill sets that they need.
He is Erick Comeaux, the Technical and Development Director for Koura. Be on the lookout. The jobs are on the way in St. Gabriel. Erick, I appreciate the time, man.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me today.
Glad to have you on. Time for us to get the latest from the CBS World News Roundup on Talk 107.3. Okay, this is now 10 seconds off. If this would stay at the regular whatever, I could keep up with it.
I could so be a talk show host. That flew by. It felt like 30 seconds.
That was 7.5 minutes.
Wow.
So, and we're still on Facebook, by the way. We're always
awesome.
on Facebook. So no, it's this. You said 2025 was when the first. It's not that long.
Yeah.
It's going to get here quickly.
Yes, awesome. It is. It is.
Yeah.
It's going to get here really, really quickly, and it's like I said, it's so exciting because we know what our next step is.
Yeah.
But no idea, what the end game is going to be.
Well, yeah, and that's because it's not just this. Well, I would hope the next one will be not just from Koura's perspective, but from an American energy perspective, grabbing the next piece of the puzzle that brings it all home. Like, y'all do this here, and then does it go back out of the country after this? Or?
No. So it stays here.
Okay.
It stays here because, like I said, think about all the things you've ordered that hadn't come on time.
Yeah.
We have all these gigafactories coming here into the United States. If we have that battery industry right here, that encourages them to go ahead and make more of those electrical components here in the U.S. because they don't have to wait on that battery coming in from overseas.
Had a question on Facebook, wanted to know where are you sourcing the lithium from?
That's a very good question. We have a couple of options that we're working right now, so I'm not prepared to answer that question just yet. But we do have 2 good sources,
Okay.
and we ought to be coming to that conclusion very soon.
Okay.
And I'll make sure to get back to you with that as soon as we finalize it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And as we get closer towards jobs coming in, let's get you back on to discuss again.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Great
that
to
was
meet
great. Likewise. Thank you, Lana. Always.